Okay, so thank you all for coming to our Invest in You series. Today we're going to be talking about searching and applying to internships. I am Steph Bates, the Career Advisor Graduate Assistant at the CDIC. We are located in the basement floor of Alumni Hall, so come on down and if you have a question or want to make an appointment. Today is our last presentation in the semester. So we'll kind of talk about some tips that might help you get that offer or move on to the next step of an interview. So there are three main steps to getting an internship. First, you need to create a resume and potentially a cover letter. Then you start with the search process, and then you can go on to the application process. Cover letters are not necessary for all internship applications, but if they are required, they're a great way for an employer to get to know more about you. So we're going to first talk about resumes just briefly. To create a resume is the basic first step before you can apply to either an internship or a job or a grad school program. It will summarize your education, your experiences, your activities, and your skills. You can use it to apply to your internships. And then it's mainly there to persuade because you only get one chance to make a first impression. And unfortunately, you put all this work into making your resume, but usually the average is you'll get 6 seconds worth of your employer's attention when they read it. So it needs to be very organized, neat, and readable. So the CDIC talks to recruiters from all different types of companies just to see what they're looking for to kind of maximize those 6 seconds of viewing. And you can see your sample resumes on our website. That's career.assumption.edu. Since the job opening implies that there's a company need, your resume and cover letter will need to sell yourself as the person who can fill whichever need or skill set that they're looking for. I know sometimes it's kind of difficult to talk about yourself, but that's exactly what a resume is for. Your cover letter and resume will set you up to get an interview, not necessarily get you the internship. And then how do you get your interview is you need to sell those skills on your resume and cover letter. So how do you know what the company is looking for? It'll all be in the job description. By reading and searching through the job description, you can find common themes or skills that they're focusing on so that you can put these in your resume and or cover letter. And the connections just don't have to be in your work experience section. They can be in your coursework or project section, in your activity section, or in your skills section as well. This is just a quick reminder of what a resume should look like and which sections belong on a resume. If you are a junior or senior, consider taking off experiences that are from high school. Employers are more interested in your recent and relevant experiences. We also suggest writing your resume on a blank Word doc instead of using a resume template. This way, your resume will stand out from all of those who have access and use the same template. And if you've applied to an on-campus position, then the CDIC should have already reviewed your resume and provided you with some feedback to help improve it. Now we're going to move on to cover letters. A cover letter is there to support your resume for the reader to know more about you and your unique experiences that you've had. By explaining how and where you've learned those common themes that they're looking for through mini stories, you're increasing your odds of getting an interview. You can think of cover letters as answering the question, why should I hire you? Focus on your experience and skills that directly relate to the job. Think of 2 specific examples, and that could be through coursework or work experience or activities, and show them through writing that you know and have experience with these common themes and skills. You want to avoid strictly talking about what's already on your resume. Cover letters are a great place to discuss experiences that might not necessarily fit into a resume, but you want to show that you have those skill sets in another area. And then one thing also I want to talk about is just to make sure that when you're writing your cover letter, you don't necessarily do the heading as to whom it may concern. It should be more specific, and try looking for a specific name. Maybe there's a hiring manager you can find the name of on LinkedIn or through their website. It might be a department chair or head that you can find. And if you can't find a name, you can write "Dear hiring manager" instead of "to whom it may concern." This is an example of a cover letter that we have on our website. You can see here that we have a specific name. The intro paragraph is going to describe what the position is that you're applying to and why you're a good fit for this position. It'll also have the 2 examples that you're going to write about further on. It's going to be sort of like a thesis. So the first example in this cover letter is talking about the coursework that they've had, and they provide a more in-depth explanation of their skill sets through their coursework in the second paragraph. And then they provide a more detailed explanation of their customer service experience at Stop and Shop in the third paragraph. The last paragraph is going to for the opportunity and the consideration of your application. Each cover letter should be geared towards each individual application. However, the first and the last paragraph are going to be pretty much the same, just a little tweaking for each, but the different examples should be geared towards each job posting. It's never too early to start looking for internships. Handshake alone has over 2,500 internships available right now, which is one of the most I've ever seen it. Some summer positions are out now, but they're still being published daily. Most are published around the beginning of or end of winter break, but they're continually being published over time. It'll be a great thing to do project if you're interested in completing it over winter break. If you have no idea what keywords to search for, you can start out broadly and then narrow it down as you kind of understand what you're looking for as you search. You can apply to any realistic opportunities, which are considered that you are matching about 75% of the job qualifications. There are 2 qualifications, however, that are a must meet. So you must meet the GPA requirement if there is one, and then a year requirement. So some internship applications require there being either juniors, sophomores, so you must meet those. And make sure that you follow all application instructions. So there are 2 main ways of finding an internship. There's networking and then completing an internship search. And we will be completing an internship search later on in the presentation. So people might be thinking, why would networking be important? So there are many reasons. You get a firsthand look of what is going to be coming up in an internship or your potential job. It increases your visibility in that professional world. And most importantly, I think, is that it taps into the unseen job market. So about 80% of jobs are never posted online. They're found by asking employees. So this means that a company may ask their employees, hey, do you know of someone who has really great customer service skills? And then an employee would be like, oh, I just went to an alumni networking night with Assumption, and I know some students who have some great customer service background. Let me reach out to them to see if they're interested in the internship. So just by networking and getting to know people in your field, it increases your chances of landing that internship. Networking is super important, especially when you're in an internship, because you never know who has those connections that can help you either get your next internship or a potential job after you graduate. It's really important that you show those, basic teamwork skills, such as, showing up on time, completing your task in a timely manner, and just assisting with anything you can while you're in an internship, just so that those people around you know that you're dependable and are more willing to help you look for a job. So you might be thinking, who is in your network? And that's just about anyone: your professors, your family friends, coworkers, your friends, bosses. Anyone here at Assumption is in your network, and they can help you potentially find that next internship or job. So now we're going to be doing our internet searches. We're going to be looking on 3 main websites. We're going to do a quick handshake search, LinkedIn search, and a Google search. And each of these have a particular topic or thing to focus on. So this is Handshake, which you may or may not be familiar with. We're going to be looking at the Jobs tab. For Handshake, I'm going to be looking for marketing internships. So I'm going to be clicking off the internship filter. I'm going to scroll all the way down to where it says major, type in marketing. I'm going to put on the location Worcester and narrow down the distance a little bit. Now, at a quick scroll, you might see that there are some positions that are not necessarily marketing type. And that's because some of these positions kind of check off the all majors category. If you're looking to get more specific, I usually retype the type of internship that I'm looking for. So in this particular one, I'm just going to type in marketing, and then it's a better search for you. So for this one, I'm going to look at the Hanover Theater marketing and PR internship. Some important things to notice is the application deadline and then the seasonal role. So for this one, this is going to be a spring internship. And then the next thing I do is I scroll down all the way down to the qualifications to make sure that I match about 75% of them. So for this one, it requires a certain amount of hours, and then I have to match about 75% of these skills. If you think that you do meet 75% of these skills, then you can look at the job description and what you would be doing every day. And then that kind of helps you inform you if you would be interested in that position. And then if you're interested, you can hit the apply button. Next is going to be a search on LinkedIn. So if you have a LinkedIn profile, you can go to the Jobs tab, and I'm going to look at a human resource internship, and I'm just going to click on CVS. So one of the nice things about it is sometimes it tells you how many applicants are already applied. Also, you can see how many school alumni are working at this position. And the nice thing about knowing how many school alumni is if you click on this tab, it brings you to those individuals, and you can connect with them, ask them some questions, maybe have an informational interview just to get to know more about the company or your position, and just overall grow your network. Just like on Handshake, you're going to have a long list of your roles and qualifications that you'll have to meet. One thing to note is that if you have an apply button like this, it'll bring you to another website. If there is an apply button that says easy apply, it'll take all your information from your LinkedIn profile and use that to make an application. So if you ever have a position that has an easy apply, just make sure that your profile is up to date. Another thing to note is that the search bar in LinkedIn is very specific. If you do intern versus internship, it will probably give you different results. So just kind of make sure that you're switching up the wording or using other popular or preferred terms in your search. A nice new feature about LinkedIn is that they now have a remote or on-site or hybrid option that you can use for your filter. Our last section is going to be a Google search, and I've just decided that I wanted an accounting internship near Worcester. I'm going to look to see all of the titles and places that you could work. So one thing to do about when you're doing a Google search is you have all these buttons that you could apply to. Now, we suggest only applying to the websites that you know. So there might be a LinkedIn tab, which is okay to apply to, or even the company's website. But if you haven't heard of these websites, particularly like, let's say, for example, this website, we strongly suggest not applying through that website. And again, it has all the qualifications and responsibilities. And for this internship, there's not an appropriate website to apply to. So what you can do is I always copy and paste the company name to look at the website. This way, you're not sure of the company, you can make sure it's an actual company and that your values match with the company. The other great thing is if you look for a career section, usually at the top or the bottom of the website, you can look for that position and you can actually apply through their own website, which is the safer of the options. So I was looking for an internship, an accounting internship. Which would be finance. And then this way you can also see if there's any other types of opportunities too. I think this is the internship that I'm interested in. And then you can look through the internship and then apply through the website here. So you can utilize all your resources to help you find those internships. The CDIC, we can help make one-on-one appointments for either a resume or cover letter review if you're having difficulty finding an internship. The faculty here should be a really great source of knowledge and help you guide you on maybe different search terms, or maybe even provide you with networking opportunities or businesses that may be interested in Assumption students. There's always those alumni that you can network with. Family and friends, it's a great time to start networking, especially with the holidays coming up and having all those parties. Start talking about what you're interested in and kind of grow your network that way. There's always informational interviews, and then the all-important career fair that we have coming up next semester. If you're interested and would like to make an appointment or talk a little bit more about finding internships with us, you can email us at careerdevelopment@assumption.edu. Anytime, drop by in the basement of Alumni Hall, or feel free to give us a call.